Hey, welcome to Maximum Bat Speed. I get emails quite often on a regular basis where parents are sending me questions regarding how should they develop their child, what's the best way to get them started so that they can have a good chance of just working forward without having to really go backwards too much. Like a lot of parents end up never really understanding where they should start, where their swing should begin. I just created a new video on my website, and it's how to build your swing plan, and I go step by step on how to do this. And in this video right here, I'm going to explain to you things that I explain in this 2 hour and 45-minute video so that it could help you to pretty much get started in the right direction. Now, this video I created, again, is 2 hours and 45 minutes long. If you want to order it, go on my website. I think it'd be very beneficial. It shows you how to start the swing from the setup all the way to the full swing. So let's get started here with Carlos Correa, and I'm going to show you things that he does that as far as how the system that I use, pretty much what I do when I'm working with my students and what I do in my Build Your Swing Plan. First of all, I talk about the setup, how important it is to start off with balance. And you can see here with Correa, just like any high-level player in the MLB, he starts with a great setup, and he also starts with good rhythm. You can see with his body, he has some movement going on, and I talk about that in the video. Another thing that should happen when you start developing a swing is teaching your child or your student how to get into a great gather. And the reason why that's so important is when players do not get into a good gather, they tend to leak their knee over their foot or behind their foot. And you can see right here with Carlos Correa, as he starts to get into his gather, pay attention what's going on. It's very obvious he's hitting off a firm back leg, and this is so crucial. You see this in high-level players all the time, and there's a reason for it. This way they can get into and around their lower hip, their back hip socket. You can see that. Pay attention to his back hip socket. You see how he's pretty much compressing right into that area right there. I talk about how important that is in the video. And another thing that benefits a player by doing this is watch what's going on, because once you do that, the upper body is resisting off a firm backside, therefore allowing the upper body to have great coil as you get into your forward move. And by that I mean watch how he's able to let his back elbow work back and behind him as he starts to get into his stride. And that is so crucial when it comes to developing a swing. It is crucial to understand how important resistance is with very smooth tempo. And what you see at the highest levels, this is what players do. And if you're working with your child, it's very important that you incorporate very smooth tempo, that you incorporate very solid pullback resistant mechanics, because if you don't, your child's always going to lack power. It's going to lack the ability to get the bat in the proper slot. And by that I mean this: once a player gets into their heel plant with that resistance, the bat should fall into this beautiful slot right here where the player's able to have a beautiful compact swing. And this is so crucial when developing a swing. And again, I get many emails about players where I get emails from parents telling me their players are opening up too much. They're starting to roll their wrist. Excuse me. They're starting to roll their wrist. They're just getting out of the strike zone too soon, where that's all a cause and effect. If you start your swing correctly from the ground up, you're going to be able to cure these swing flaws very easily. It does take time. It is easy to fix, but the problem is, are you willing to put in the work to fix it so that you can go from your old mechanics to your new mechanics? And that's crucial, and I bring that up in my video I just came up with for parents or coaches to be able to help their students through the process and how the process works. Another thing is this: when you work with a student, it's very crucial to teach them how important it is to level correctly. And by that I mean this: if you don't level correctly, you're never going to be able to hit to the ball and through the ball correctly. And right there you can see how his elbow's right there as he continues to get into the leveling part of the swing. Now you can see it's obvious that his elbow's right here by the height of the mouth, and this is so important. Many times you see the elbow too low, and when that occurs, the players tend to get out of the strike zone too soon and going around to the left, and therefore creating a very short strike zone where you want to have a longer strike zone so your bat can hit to the ball and through the ball, like you see here with Correa. That is so important to teach your child or your student that. Another thing is, it's so important to teach them to get off their backside. Watch what Correa's doing here with his back foot. Just pay attention to his back foot. Now this is crucial, and the reason that he does this is because he squares up the hips. In the video I created, I explain how to do this and the proper way to do it, and there's drills that I have in the video that go through every stage of the swing to help you to incorporate these new mechanics so they get ingrained, so you're able to apply them not only during tee work but in real game situations. Another thing that's so important when you're playing at the highest levels is when you get to heel plant. You can see at the highest level players get to the firm front side, therefore rotating off a firm front side, therefore allowing the player to have an amazingly quick and strong rotation through the front side so the back can get through the strike zone with tremendous power. I bring that up in my video as well. It's crucial to understand that when you're building a swing, especially when you're working with younger players, that you should have a system, because if you don't, you're never going to know where to start, where to begin, or where to continue on when you actually achieve a high level stage of the swing. I think it's very important to understand that a system, a scaffolding system, is so important when working with players. I've been using the scaffolding systems for many years now, working with players, and I've received tremendous results because of it. And I believe that if you apply this scaffolding system that I use, will make it very easy for you as a parent, as a coach, to apply this to either your child or your student. Again, this is Carlos Correa, and it doesn't matter whether it's Carlos Correa or any high-level MLB player or high-level softball player. You should have a system. You should have a scaffolding, a building system, again, to working from the ground up. Again, like I mentioned, you can see here with Correa, he's applying what high-level players do. Again, getting into a great gather and getting into just this beautiful backside resistance so he can get into beautiful pullback right here. And you can see how the elbow works back and behind him. This is not applied enough at lower levels. It just isn't, and I explain throughout the whole video how to incorporate this pullback throughout the whole swing so that you can ingrain it into your swing so it becomes part of your swing. I talk about the slot, like I just mentioned right here, about the leveling, how to get a good point of contact drill so you can ingrain this point of contact positions like you see at the highest level. And I talk about how to build it so that you make sure that you're stopping right here before you go on to anywhere else to ingrain that. Again, building a swing can be easy. It does take time, it takes work, but once you have a system, you'll see how easy it is to really work with your child, to really work with your students in a way that you probably have never experienced before. Again, get a hold of me on my website to order this Build Your Swing Plan. I really believe you'll enjoy it, you'll like it, and it'll be fun to work with your child during the process or your student. Thanks for always watching Maximum Bat Speed, and thank you for supporting my channel. Give me a like if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something. Have a great day.